I've heard my name called, I've heard people talking, I've gotten EVPs, I've saw shadow figures, I'm pretty sure I saw apparitions, I've been touched, and I've had other family members that have experienced the same things. No, we are not Hollywood, cannot tell you anything will happen, maybe not a thing will happen to you tonight, okay? It's a hit or miss thing, we don't turn it on, we do not set things up, we do not scare you. And don't scare each other. Uphill.
Dude, this makes me not.
It's cooler in here. That's the godsend. Today it was so hot, and I walk in the room. Of course, tonight it's supposed to be kind of chilly out, so it will be cold in here. Do we have everybody yet? Just kind of step in a little closer. Sometimes you have people that stop and take pictures and such. That's just going to delay the tour. I hear them, but they're not coming.
If I could take pictures.
That's what I just said. See, I told you, I'm psychic.
Screen down there, but it echoes like crazy.
Yeah, that's why we try to keep everybody try to keep the volume down, because there are people in here documenting.
Where's your pusher?
I don't know, that's where I'm looking. I think they're still back there. Okay, when the prison was open and when you were in isolation, the first 3 days you would just get bread, broth, and water, okay? And they kept it at 95 degrees at all time to keep the prisoners lethargic, okay? And now I'm going to take you back out to the bullpen and we'll go over to the east. That's the tunnel that Andy escaped out of. They filled it with melted chocolate and leaves and such, and there's pictures throughout the prison of different movie scenes and the sets. So when you're off later on your own, you can view them a little bit better. Okay? We're now entering the east cell block.
I know, it's the world's largest cell. Isn't this the world's largest here? Oh my God. No. I'm your boy next door.
We can't go up there.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's 2 different sides. sides. Just go with the yellow caution tape, up, and then you can get around.
How many levels?
Okay, this is the east cell block. It is 6 tiers high. There are 2 sides. You can go up on the tiers, just don't go on the sides that have the yellow caution tape. So you can go up and sit in the cells or do whatever you want, just don't take anything home with you. We are in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the largest freestanding steel cell block. It was built to hold 600 inmates, and most of the time held 1,200 inmates.
You guys? 2 or 3.
This cell block wasn't completed until 1910. They first opened the building with only the west cell block completed, and those inmates actually helped construct this cell block. Well, it wasn't 95 degrees in this part, just in solitary confinement. They used like steam heating boilers. Out here it was probably rather cold, actually. It was probably freezing, because all you had was your blanket. That's just electrical. It's been doing it. Not paranormal. I wish that light would come back on when I need it. Okay, when everybody catches up where
It totally went off right when we walked in.
Yeah,
this
but it's
area.
been doing it. I've been in here all day and it just keeps blinking on and off, so it's not paranormal. It's just old lighting. Okay.
I'll live
Okay.
the lie.
Can everybody in the back hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Right here. Okay, I had one yell up front, but nobody in the back. If you go up this steel staircase, that'll take you up to 2 more floors, one here and one being at the top. That is the 2nd floor to the infirmary and the 3rd floor to the old infirmary. This place was open for almost 100 years, so during the time it was open, different areas changed. So if you're documenting, I'll try to remind you of that throughout the building. When they built a hospital out back, the top floor would have been turned into a library, okay? And as we go through the tour, I'll try to tell you what areas used to be and when they were used and whatever. So that if you're documenting, you get an EVP and you think, oh, that doesn't go quite with what the area was, just remember that the areas changed all the time in here, because if you saw Shawshank Redemption where Andy's tarring the roof for the free beers, those were the back buildings. They had factories, they had a hospital, they had a kitchen. We had a furniture factory, automotive factory, a printing shop. They made clothes, they made shoes. I mean, it just kept going on. The whole area was farmed. We had an orchard, we had a dairy barn, a pig barn, and a poultry barn, where they actually had dorms for lesser offenders to take care of the farms. And they actually canned all their own food and butchered, and they had all the food they needed to maintain this prison, and actually sent food out to other working prisons at that time. Oh, wow. Okay? So a lot of the older inmates and some of the older employees would call this the farm. And the idea when they opened this was that it was a reformatory, not a prison. The idea was to reform, to teach a religion and education and a trade and release them back into society. In 1970, it turned into maximum security facility, okay? We housed death row, which I will take you by in a second here, but we did not put anyone to death. The electric chair in the museum is a replica of the electric chair in Columbus because a man from Mansfield designed that electric chair, so we actually have a copy of it, okay? But they were actually sent somewhere else to be put to death. Is there any record how many people died?
No, she didn't hear you. Careful. Oh. Is there any kind of record of how many people died?
No, not really, because of the fact that a lot of the state records were destroyed.
Okay.
Covered up.
You know, we have some knowledge of some, but I'm sure we would never ever know how many. Okay, for other reasons probably also.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as they all get around the corner. Yeah, those lights will go off when you walk in the front of the image before, it will be in the dark, so I hope you all have flashlights.
We got plenty of those.
Okay, we have everybody? Okay, we were featured on the paranormal show on Sci-Fi by Taps, the Ghost Hunters. And right there, if you go up one more tier, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 cells from the end, there's an X. You see that black X up there above the cell door? That was the cell that they marked, and Taps, Jason and Grant actually marked that. They had some activity up there. I tell that to you because most of you have seen it. You want to know where that cell is. There's too many of us to go because we have to start at that end and walk all the way up, and then we got to turn around and walk all the way back down. And our group's just too large. But I showed it to you, and you can find that later on your own. You'll notice, you'll